Who has the most unstoppable military on Earth? Most would shout America, with a war machine powered by over $1 trillion, stealth bombers, and global dominance. You see them in headlines in war zones, even in Hollywood, saving the world from aliens. Others whisper, Russia, a nation feared for its brutal training, ruthless tactics, and soldiers built to survive hell. But what if they're not the strongest? What if there's another force rising in silence? A country the world underestimated, a military that didn't just match the giants, it outplayed them. India. In a recent showdown with Pakistan, the Indian Armed Forces executed 3 military moves so bold, so unthinkable, that neither the US, Russia, nor even China could dare to attempt them. These weren't just victories, they were acts of military genius, the kind history remembers for 100 years. So how did India, with only a fraction of their budgets, pull off something this impossible? You're about to discover 3 shocking moves that could change the balance of global power forever. After the recent Pahalgam terror attack, the world expected silence from India. As always, India is one of the most targeted countries by terrorism, but few outside the region truly understand that. Time and again, India shows restraint, and the world, it mistakes that patience for weakness. But not this time. To everyone's shock, India made a decision so bold, it defied logic. It retaliated, and not just against any enemy, but against a nuclear-armed nation with over 180 warheads. Let that sink in. Even the United States, under its most aggressive leadership, never dared strike a nuclear-armed state directly. But India did, calmly, deliberately. Their first strike was limited, a precise air raid targeting terrorist camps. But Pakistan responded with fury. Hundreds of drones and missiles flooded the skies, and yet none got through. India's Akash air defense system, paired with the Russian S-400, shot them all down. Clean, efficient. It was a defensive performance that arguably outclassed even Russia's own use of the S-400. And if you want proof, I've broken it down in a separate video, link in the description. But what happened next sent shivers down the spines of everyone watching. India didn't stop. They went full beast mode, and I'm not exaggerating. Even from a safe distance, I felt the fear. It genuinely looked like the world was on the edge of total war. India launched a second wave. This time, they obliterated major Pakistani air bases. And how do we know this? Because if those air bases were operational, Pakistan would have responded. But they didn't. They couldn't. Then came the most unthinkable move. India struck a Pakistani nuclear facility using bunker buster bombs. The result? A radiation leak. Entire villages were evacuated. It was real. It was undeniable. And yet, Pakistan still didn't retaliate. Why? Because they were stunned. Because for the first time in history, a nation had done what no superpower ever dared, established air dominance over a nuclear state. Not just superiority, but supremacy. It wasn't just military might. It was godlike control over the battlefield. And as shocking as this was, the next act is even more unbelievable. What India pulled off during Operation Sindoor wasn't just bold. It was a masterclass in deception that stunned even the world's top militaries. In this operation, India achieved in mere hours what Russia couldn't do in over 3 years. They destroyed Pakistan's Chinese-made HQ-9 air defense system, a long-range SAM designed to rival the American Patriot. That alone should have made headlines. But what happened next was so unexpected, so brilliantly executed, it deserves to be studied in military academies. Here's what went down. Pakistan was using Chinese AWACS aircraft to detect Indian fighter jets from long range. They locked on to the incoming aircraft, fed targeting data to Chinese J-10C fighters, and launched a barrage of PL-15 long-range air-to-air missiles, some of the most advanced in the world. And then came the shock. Pakistan claimed to have shot down 5 French-built Indian Rafale fighter jets. Their media erupted in celebration. Officials boasted of a huge victory. Even I was fooled, I'll admit it, because India said nothing. Just one cold, quiet denial. None of our jets were lost. No pictures, no wreckage, no funerals, just silence. So what really happened? India had deployed a top-secret electronic warfare weapon, a deception system so advanced it fooled Pakistan, its radars, and even the world. It's called X-Guard. This pod, attached by a trailing wire to the Rafale's rear, acts like a ghost decoy. When missiles lock on, the pod interferes with the radar signal, drawing the missile away from the real aircraft. In extreme cases, it sacrifices itself, making the incoming missile believe it is the fighter jet. That day, Pakistan's radars and missiles locked onto shadows, not targets. To understand how advanced this is, know this. The United States is still developing a similar system for its fifth-generation F-35 jets. But India is already using it in combat today with 4.5 generation fighters. Let that sink in. India didn't just survive a missile ambush. They fooled an entire military, made their enemy waste missiles, and walked away without a scratch, while making the world think they'd taken a devastating loss. This was next-level warfare, the kind that rewrites doctrines. But India's deception and dominance in the skies is just the beginning. Because what they did next was even more dangerous, more daring, and more unthinkable than anything the US, Russia, or China has done in decades. Why are so many nations obsessed with nuclear weapons? Some are desperate to build their first. Others keep expanding their arsenals. But the reason is always the same. Nukes mean you never lose. Because once a country has nuclear weapons, it gains a terrifying kind of immunity. The logic is simple. If we go down, we'll take the world with us. That's the foundation of nuclear deterrence. And for decades, Pakistan has lived behind that shield, constantly threatening India with nuclear retaliation if ever provoked. It worked. For a long time, it kept full-scale war off the table. Until now. India didn't just challenge that nuclear threat, they shattered it. In a move that stunned global analysts, India directly struck Pakistan's nuclear sites and military bases. Not empty threats, not just border skirmishes, actual strikes. And what did Pakistan do in return? Nothing. No real retaliation, no meaningful military response. They claimed they destroyed an Indian S-400 system, but provided zero proof. No images, no debris, no confirmation. If that's enough, then I could just claim I landed on Mars and declared it mine. So what happened? Why didn't Pakistan strike back? There are only two possible answers. One, they couldn't. Two, they were too afraid. And here's why fear is the most likely explanation. India didn't just show that it could take out Pakistan's nuclear sites. It also revealed something far more terrifying. India's nuclear arsenal can't be destroyed because it's hidden beneath the ocean. India possesses a credible second strike capability, nuclear-armed submarines lurking silently in the depths. Even if India were hit by a full-scale nuclear attack, they could still fire back. Pakistan doesn't have that. This means for the first time in history, a nuclear-armed state was taught a lesson and had no way to respond. India did the unthinkable. It proved that having nukes is no longer enough if you can't protect them. India rewrote the rules of nuclear deterrence. And that was the boldest military move of the 21st century. These videos take time, research, and passion to create. So if you found this one eye-opening, hit that like button. It's free for you, but it helps us more than you can imagine. Subscribe so you don't miss the powerful content we've got coming up. And while you're here, check out other videos on our channel. You'll find in-depth stories, military secrets, and bold truths that no one else is telling. If you're on Telegram, follow our official channel so you never miss a moment, no matter where you are. Thanks for supporting independent military analysis. This is Caspian Insight, signing off.